exposing misinformation. What's your message to platforms like Facebook?
They're killing people. I mean, it really, look, the only pandemic we have is among the unvaccinated. And they're killing people.
That was President Biden last Friday attacking Facebook over the social media giant's handling of vaccine misinformation. Our Julia Borston joins us now with more. Julia.
Well, Leslie, Facebook is hitting back and calling on the administration to stop finger pointing. Facebook's VP of Integrity, Guy Rosen, writing in a blog post that Facebook is not the reason that the administration missed its goal of vaccinating 70% of Americans by July 4th. Facebook saying vaccine hesitancy among its users has declined, with vaccine acceptance among U.S. users of the social platform growing from 70% in January to 85% now, saying they either have been vaccinated or want to be vaccinated. Facebook explaining how they've been playing defense, pulling down a total of 18 million instances of COVID-19 misinformation. They've also labeled and reduced the visibility of more than 167 million pieces of COVID-19 content debunked by their fact-checking partners, also saying they've been playing offense, providing a vaccine finder tool which more than 3.3 million Americans have used to find and make an appointment. And the platform has been directing people to authoritative information that more than 2 billion people around the world have viewed about the pandemic as well as the vaccines since the pandemic began. And more than half the people in the U.S. on Facebook have seen someone share that they've been vaccinated in a frame that people can add to their profile picture. Facebook says it developed this with the CDC and Department of Health and Human Services. This kind of peer pressure is found to be effective in reducing vaccine hesitancy. Now, Facebook saying, quote, these and other facts tell a very different story to the one promoted by the administration in recent days. Guys, back to you.
Julia, is there any sense, obviously at this point it seems like it's just a war of words, is there any sense that additional regulation is being considered, or is Facebook preparing for the potential to have additional scrutiny as a result of these war of words? And clearly the administration is unhappy with how things are going, despite, you know, what you laid out there in terms of what Facebook has been doing.
Yeah, Leslie, when you say additional scrutiny, we have to remember that Facebook is already under so much scrutiny. You know, there's the looming threat of privacy regulation, something that's been talked about for a while. There's this question of whether content on the platform is biased. There's been a lot of concern about from one side of the aisle about biased information, other side of the aisle about the wrong type of information, misinformation being spread. So I think what's really interesting is you have both sides of the aisle concerned about the type of information that can spread virally on Facebook. And I think that that has been an undercurrent in a lot of the antitrust discussions that have been held as we have those 6 proposed bills that are under review right now. This question is, should a company this powerful be able to influence the type of content that people see, especially around the news? So I think that there are so many different layers here, Leslie, in which Facebook is being scrutinized. And I think that this sort of shows that not only is it a bipartisan push for regulation from an antitrust perspective on Capitol Hill, but now you also have the support of the Biden administration. And it really does seem to represent a big shift from the early days of the Biden administration, where there seemed to be more of a push to cooperate with Facebook, and now they're taking more of an adversarial approach.
Julia, it's David. Is Facebook's decision or failure in the view of the administration to crack down on certain misinformation because of their decision-making about what constitutes misinformation or crosses the line, or because they simply don't have the ability to yet fully police the site in the way that perhaps people would like them to?
Well, that's a very complicated question, of course, David, right? Because, of course, Facebook says that they're doing everything in their power to crack down on this. But this is such a whack-a-mole situation here, right? So Facebook, I think, is constantly drawing and redrawing the line of what counts as misinformation and what doesn't. They have, obviously, tens of thousands of employees focused on this, as well as the algorithm. But as we've seen in the past, you know, if it's a whack-a-mole situation, you're never going to be able to eliminate all of it. The question is, are they really doing enough? Facebook thinks they are. The administration says they're not.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.